Hello, my name is Mariana, and today this is a reading for Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, as always, I'm doing a reading with my own deck, so the cards that you'll see are from this deck. And so Sagittarius, I have to begin this reading with a question. Are you tired? Are you feeling depleted? Are you feeling out of energy? Like you have used, all of your energy plus that extra fuel, right? It's like the tank is really, really low in energy because I feel like you are looking to recharge yourself, right? By doing the activities that somehow that could bring you this restoration, this recharging, right? This fueling up of your energy. But somehow it feels like the more you engage in the activities that you assumed that would recharge you, it's like you're feeling extra exhausted, right? It's like and there is perhaps, this it's like you are demanding too much of yourself. You are engaging in too many activities all at once just because that at some point in your life it's like they used to just bring you more energy, right? They used to just energize you and inspire you and excite you, and that would increase your energy level instead of making you feel drained, right? But the interesting thing here is that I feel like at the end of the reading, actually, you come to terms to like this balanced spot of how much you want to engage, how much you have the energy to engage in all these activities, and how much these activities are responding to you in the way that you anticipated or not, right? It's like I feel like there is going to be like this coming to terms with everything that you want to do, right? Finding more energy, right? Finding more enthusiasm, because I feel like you are at a point where you don't have energy to give, right? So it's like the more you try to do something that is, beyond your limit, your energetic limit right now, it's almost like it's going to make you feel even more tired. Okay, so we're starting with you showing up here as the Queen of Wands, right? So this is the energy. This is, I want to say, your natural, excited self that is always ready for something, that is always optimistic, that is always, willing to take a risk, willing to go on an adventure. But somehow, straight away from this card already, I was sensing this, when you are tired, but you don't want to give in to that exhaustion. So you still, do things even in a slower pace, trying to go against your own bodily tiredness, right? It's almost like you're trying to, it's almost like your body is feeling heavier, right? But still you're trying to go against it. Still you're trying to make things happen and, engage in activities. Is interesting because the center of your reading today is the Sun card, right? And all of these rays here, they're talking about the many activities that you perform, that you engage in throughout one day, right? So it's feeling like you have this packed agenda for the day, or like this, many chores, or there are many things in your to-do list for that day that feels like you have no time, no free time in your schedule, right? At least in your daily, well, at least perhaps today, right? This day when you're listening to this, when you're watching this video, perhaps you have, included so many things that, with your energy level low, I want to say, because between these two cards is the Hangman, right? And so the Hangman was talking about there is this lack of energy, or at least like your energy is not at full charge, right? It's like you have not fully recovered, perhaps, the night before, the weeks prior to today. And so, and still you have a lot that you want to do, right? Many things to do all at once, or, in one day. And your energy level, it's almost like you're having to fight against your own exhaustion, just because there is this desire, I want to say, right, in you, that all of the things that you put in your to-do list today, right, were supposed to bring you happiness and joy and even more energy, right? So I feel like there's something that you're fighting against, right? But this card in the middle, it's interesting because it's coming through as like a charging cable, right? Just as this one here, right? So it's like you're holding on to the charging cable, right, to recharge yourself, but it's almost like you won't stop, right? It's like if, on the way to doing all of these things, you find an outlet, you find, a charging spot, right? It's like on the go, right? It's almost like you're not going to stop what you're doing or what you're planning to do on this day to charge yourself, right? But you're taking this charger with you, right? You're taking the cable with you, but it's almost like it feels at this point like you are almost dragging your feet, but trying to fight that feeling of exhaustion, right? It's like you're not going to give in to this energy because there's so much that you're excited to do. So it's almost like you have to go against yourself in this sense, right? Of, trying to use that last bit of energy. But as I said, it's like it feels like the more you try to battle between, using the last resources, the last bit of strength, the last bit of energy, right, to accomplish all of this, right? It feels like a big list. It feels like there are so many things that you want to do in one day that they're all great, right? They're all super exciting, right? But I feel like you're not listening to your body. It's like there's something that you want to it's like you're trying to overcome this feeling that your body is clearly giving to you, right? Because it's almost like, that alarm that sounds, I don't even know if in the car when, the gas is low, the car sounds an alarm, but, it lights a red light, I believe, right? There is some sort of alert, right, that the car gives to show the driver or whoever is in the car that the gas is low, right? But so this is what this Hangman is feeling today for you, Sagittarius, despite you knowing who you are, what you're capable of accomplishing, and how optimistic you feel all of the time, perhaps, or most of the time, right? It's like you know your true nature, how much you can do in one day, right? But as I said, it's like the more you try to, it's like the further you go into your to-do list or, into your day, carrying the cable to recharge yourself, but not, it's not like you're actively looking for an outlet. It's like you're actively doing something to accomplish your to-do list. And in the way, if you happen to bump into an outlet, then yes, you would charge yourself, right? but it's not like you're doing that to recharge, right? It's almost like you expect that by engaging in these activities, they would generally, or for the most part, you are used to feeling better after you engage in these activities, right? So it feels like you are still going for it, expecting to feel recharged, but I want to say these activities are not exactly the outlet, right? It's like this is not the right fit for this type of cable, right? This type of cable, represented by the hangman, is talking about suspension of any activity, no matter how enthusiastic, how much you want to engage with them, right? How much you want to do in one day. Because with these two cards coming next, I feel like there is this melting away of your last drops of energy, okay? So we have the Five of Cups and then the Four of Cups. So to me, the fives, you might know this already, represent, it's been coming through a lot more lately with this message of self, right? Of your own energy, your own body, your own individuality. So here, it's like this is you, right? Holding this cable, still wanting to perform, still wanting to engage in various activities, I want to say, because it's not one, right? It's coming through as multiple. But feeling like it's almost like it's like all of these activities are making you sweat, right? Extra. Because after this five, which is you still feeling like self, right? Still being able to identify your own energy, right? Or like feeling at least like whole, right? Feeling like you recognize yourself, right? Just because of the five. But then straight away followed by the Four of Cups. It feels like you're no longer there, right? It's almost like this outer shell of yourself, right? This is you with your last bit of drops of energy. And then here is you. It's like this is just your body, right? Your sweat and tears and, whatever you had to put into, you know, it's almost like the regular activities perhaps that you are used to performing throughout your day, right? With this long to-do list. It's like today in particular, right? Your energy level is so low that you feel like even the same activities that you are, very well aware of how long they take or how much energy they take from you. It's like, it's almost like the sun is brighter today, it's hotter today, and it's making you sweat more than ever, or, is taking from you more than you thought you had in you to give, right? It's almost like with this last bit of, energy or gas or fuel inside of you, it feels like there is this it's like there is starting to be this emotional melting of your energy, right? Because at first it's like you are still excited for the day, for all of the activities, but feeling that suspension, feeling the need to suspend the activities, but still going for it, right? Holding this cable in hope of, if I feel extra tired, then I have the recharging cable here. And it feels like it gets to a point where you have no other option other than, acknowledge that you are melting away, right? It feels like this melting, right? It's almost like, you wake up, you are feeling a little bit tired, but still you are, going for your day, and then, making the plans to do everything that you want to do. But then the more things you do, the more you march forward in your day, right? Wanting to accomplish each and every single activity. It's like it feels like it's like the low level goes to like this very alarming level where you're feeling out of self, right? You're feeling like you melted away, like there is nothing left there, especially because we have here the Nine of Wands, right? So this card is playing double duty today because yes, it is bringing the depletion, right? The usual traditional meaning of feeling drained, right? Like you're carrying a heavier burden than you know that you can carry at least today, right? Because it's like you recognize yourself as the Queen of Wands. Therefore, you know that you have the energy to perform this, to do all of the things that you want to do, to go by your day. Right now, this path here from the Nine of Wands is talking about, like, from the moment that you wake up, right, the start of your day till the end of your day, right? It's like this daily routine or this journey throughout your day, right? It's talking about a routine, perhaps. So your routine, the one that you are used to doing many things, right, in one day, it's feeling heavier, right? And it's not because you're doing different activities or you are, not excited by the activities themselves, right? It's just that you are tired and you're not listening to your body, perhaps, or you're not paying attention to all of the alarms that are sounding, saying, please recharge your body, right? So, and although you are, it's like, and it's not like you're also like neglecting it. You're taking the cable with you, right? It's just that you don't want to go out of your way to recharge, right? So in a sense, that is a little bit of neglect, right? But it's just because it's like somehow you trust that these less drops of water, of energy, of emotion, of excitement, of wanting to do things just because they bring you this good feeling, or they used to bring you a good feeling, right? But it's like this is like it's almost like you are, it's like this is the limit, right? It's like you cannot go below this level, otherwise you will go out of body in a sense, right? You will feel like you are, like you're not there, right? Like you're not present. It's interesting because this is, in contrast to the five, it's like here you're still conscious, right? There's still awareness, right? It's like this water is bringing the like the subtle perception, right, of yourself in this environment, right? But it's coming through like as literally sweat, right? It's like you are sweating too much that you're no longer there. It's almost like you don't have the ability to, it's like to have like this reasonable mind, right? There is something about like the sensitive nature of this and then the sensible nature of this, that's how it's coming through. It's almost like you had put a lot of things in your to-do list that perhaps you told yourself that they are obligations, right? That you have to finish them by the end of the day, right? So now they're feeling more like this burden, right? Or this responsibility that perhaps is no longer as fun, right, as in the beginning. So, but as I said, it's like you acknowledging that at some point you're going to, it's almost like, there is no other way for you to realize and perceive that you have come to your lowest point in energy. It's like there's no more, it's like you cannot take any steps further. It's like it's almost like coming down to your knees, I'm seeing with this Nine of Wands, right? And seeing that there is still a lot to accomplish, but here you're giving in, right? It's like, okay, so I will just rest for a bit. I will just take a moment to, take this heavy weight out of my shoulder. I don't want to sweat that much. It's hot, it's sunny, it's like, it's too much perhaps, right? It's like you don't have to do this with yourself, I want to say, right? And this is when the Six of Pentacles shows up. So this card is talking about, this I'm seeing this as, those old phones where they used to show the battery level as in like 3 blocks or 3 boxes, right? And then, it's not like the iPhones today, right? Where they show like this percentage, but it's more so like, blocks of energy, right? And I feel like perhaps, there are some cars also that does that, right? That they do this, like the amount of gasoline or you know, any type of fuel that the car needs nowadays, right? Not only gasoline, but it's like there is this charging up that I'm seeing, right? It's like the moment that you acknowledge that you have come to your limit, right? It's like you look around and you have nothing left to give, right? It's like you can no longer like step further without seeing that you are exhausted, right? Realizing that you are actually drained. And this is the moment when you just sit down, right? And you give in to this exhaustion and you allow your body to stay still, right? What I'm seeing here is like you in the middle of the day, right? Or in the middle of an activity, right? Because you haven't completed it, right? It's still like there are still things to finish, right? I want to say it's like the day hasn't ended yet, but still it's like you have imposed perhaps that obligation over you. So when you stop, right, this is the moment where it's like holding this cable is exactly what you needed from the start, right? It's like this is going to be this, I want to say like this rescue, when there is this rescue, what is that called? Floating thing on boats, right? When there is some sort of accident at sea, right? And there are those wheels, right? That those floating cushions or whatever they're called, right? This is how I'm seeing this hangman now. It's like the moment, if well, you were carrying your own rescue type of thing, instrument, tool, right? That was always there to recharge you, but you thought that engaging in these activities would recharge you just because that is the norm, that is your regular day-to-day way of recharging. But right now it's like the way to recharge your body, right, with the Six of Pentacles, is to give in, right, is to stop, right, even in the middle of the activity, and just breathe, right, and do nothing. I want to say, right, it's like release the weight, right, allow this rescuing tool, right, to give you a break, right, to suspend you from any type of activity, I want to say, because this is what you're needing to level up this battery level, this energy level for you today. Maybe it's just like this very temporary thing, right? Just because you're used to doing a lot and today you're not feeling like it, right? But still you're insisting, and that is just making you even more depleted or even more drained. So listen to your body, I want to say, Sagittarius, and slow down or even stop, right? Like stop any type of activity that you're doing, and perhaps it's not for the entire day, right? It's just for a moment so that you can charge a little bit at least and not feel like you're melting away, right? So I'm going to pull more cards if you're interested in that, and I'm going to pull from the astrological rooms in the extended reading. So if you want to join me there, you can find the link down below. If not, I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.